Hi, this is Mike with Dayton Dyno, and I'd like to take a minute or two to show you how to install the software on your computer for the Sport Devices software electronics kit on the Dayton Dyno Dynamometers. We'll just put in the CD. Sometimes they'll try to auto start. I normally don't do that. I just go to start on or click on start, and I go up to my computer and I go to the drive that's got the CD in it, and then I open that drive. You can see it tried to auto start, so I'll go ahead and cancel that. Double click on the drive. What I want to do now is I want to go up and select Sport Dyno 32 or 32, and I want to double click on that, open it up, go all the way to right where it says Sport Dyno, double click on that. It starts to install. Click next, set it up for everyone, click next, next. Now it's installing. And click close. I always go up and double click again, reinstall it. It says repair Sport Dyno. I always do that just to make sure that the software's got all the files in the program. So click close, go back. Now I'm looking for the manual. Click on Sport Dyno manual. I want to slide over here and just put my pointer on there, and it'll tell you what it is. What you're looking for is manual for 32 English, ENG. So you can double click on that. You can see that it opens up. There's your software manual. So if you want to right click on that, you can send it to your documents. Click yes, it's there. And then you can go to your documents and right click on it and send it to your desktop. That way you'll have a little icon there that you can click on, and you'll open up your the manual and have it right on your computer should you have any questions and you want to look something up. So that's installed there. I just back out of here, eject the disk from the drive, and so what we'll do now is there should be a little icon on your desktop. It's a green Sport Dyno icon. We'll open that up, and then of course this is your graph screen. And to go through your settings, it's real simple. You want to go up here next to the printer symbol just to the right, which is configuration. You open up that page. There's 4 tabs along the top, left or right. So I start with the left one, class of dyno. This category here is dyno name. You can type in anything you want in there, your business name, your website, your phone number, customer name, whatever you want to put in there, but I wouldn't put customer name because it's going to print it out on your printout for your sheets on your dyno runs, and so I guess I would put my business name in there. So roller characteristics, if you've got a 225 machine which has a 14-inch roller, you want to type in 358 millimeters under diameter, and then 6 or 6.0 under inertia. Right below that is torque calculation, torque at engine, that's fine. Class of dyno is vehicles. Load cell should not be checked. The next box is the configuration for the little white data box. It wants to know what the number of teeth is on the gear that's attached to the roller. I suggest you physically count the number of teeth because there's been a few different gears that I've used over the years. Currently I'm using 72. So if it doesn't say 72 in there, you want to double click on it, type in 72, and what it does, it illuminates this program button. You want to click on that, and it says you sure you want to do it, click yes, click OK. Do this about 4 times because there's 4 channels or so in the box, the data processor box. So that's the first tab that's completed. Next tab is under testing. I don't do anything there. I go down, make sure it's select English, select horsepower, foot-pounds, select mile per hour, select Fahrenheit, select inches, and then under printer setup here, I will check landscape, color, and date. That's the only thing I put on the printer. That way you get a landscape printout. You get a little wider sheet, has a nicer look to it. Under column 4 right here, I'll go down and select lambda 1. That way when your printout is printed, it'll have your air fuel mixture on the column 4. It'll have, the air fuel during the test. Right below that, okay, we've already done Fahrenheit and inches, so we go up to the next tab, which is the third tab, and it's got provisions for automatic start, automatic stop. On this software I don't use that, so these are not checked. And then I'll type in 50 here and 50 here to get those two lines off the screen. It's just two lines across your screen you don't need. Under options, I will only check show RPM and speed window while doing tests, which is the second column down. That's the only thing I recommend that you need, because when you push the button to start your test, it'll display the roller RPM and the engine RPM during the test. And right below that is the only correction factor I use is the ISO 1585. There's a displacement correction here that might be checked, that should not be checked, so you can decheck that. Right next to that is average power calculation. That might be checked, and you should decheck that as well. Once you've got all that set, you can click OK. Now, if you do have a 325 machine, we'll open that back up, go to the first tab. If you've got a 325 machine, the roller diameter is 410, and the inertia is 9.95. So that's the only difference in setup. Everything else is the same, because the roller is a 16-inch roller for a 325, and it's a 14-inch roller for a 225. The same 14-inch roller was used on the old 200 machines, so if you've got one of those, you just treat it like it's a 225. All that information is in there now, so you can click OK at the bottom right. All your settings are correct. If you're going to use the latest air fuel tool that came out a couple years ago, what you want to do is go up to channels, click on channels, channel settings, and then as you go down through here, you'll see lambda 1 and lambda 2 under the channels here, and you'll go over to the right here. There'll be a drop down window, and you just want to click on that and select wideband sensor 0 to 5 volts, and then click OK at the bottom right, and that'll set up your air fuel tool, your O2 sensor. Now once you've got all that done, you can see that's all there is to it. It's real simple. Now once you've got all that done, you can go up here and you can click on this very first little white folder. If there's anything on the screen, any runs, you click on that, it'll clear that screen. Next to it, the yellow folder, you can open that up and you can select any of the runs that you want that you've previously tested. I suggest when you do a run, you type in customer last name, first name, type of motorcycle, and then 001. It'll start counting 002, 003 from there. Because if you do that and you go back up here and you open up the files and type in that customer's last name and click open, it'll open up all the runs that customer's made on this dyno that you've recorded. So it makes it a lot easier to find previous customers' runs when they were testing their motorcycle. So you can press F5 on the keyboard to bring up the gauge screen, and like I said, customer last name, first name, type of motorcycle, and 001. 2 lines below that, there's a little button here you can click on. You can put in comments, what type of exhaust, what type of carburetor, what main jet, what fuel, what gear you tested, anything you want to remember about that test, you can put in there. It'll store that for you, so whenever you bring that run back up. You always want to update that whenever you change motorcycles, because it'll just leave it in there. I always leave roller RPM over here, and I don't select mile per hour. You've got the option there. I always leave it roller RPM, because on the test ratio screen it's roller RPM, and so those two work together. Here's your engine RPM if you don't have a tach on the motorcycle and you hook the red lead to the spark plug wire. This is the tach that you'll be looking at, so you just click on the down window here and you've got 5 settings to choose from. You can just start selecting any of those, and then you'll see the RPMs change, and you just select your RPMs based on what you're seeing there. And then when you do your first test, you'll just verify that to make sure it looks like you've got the correct setting for the RPM of that motorcycle. That's all there is to setting this software up. If you have any questions, you can always call me at 937-266-3142. And again, my name is Mike, and you can see it's quite easy. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Thanks a lot.